Hi, George.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Why do you have your mask on?
'Cause I'm not alone in the building and I
Oh,
am,
in the building? How about just in your office? No?
but I'm running back and forth to the printer, which is down the hall.
Got it.
So,
Did you see
and
I signed the transfer form today?
I missed you.
Oh, I came early. I came early. I was up and early today.
What time were you there?
8:35. Yeah, I was up. Alex came home today, so we went down to Bradley and picked him up first thing in the morning, and when we got home, I just ran up to town hall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty psyched to have him home.
Oh, that's excellent. He's been in California.
Yeah, first time he's been home in 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, everything is brand new to him. He's like, walks in the house like, wow, whoa, whoa.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dad's home all the time. That's a big deal.
Yeah. And the
That's
cooking,
what we
his
like about
mother's
the holidays.
cooking.
I'm sorry?
His mom's cooking.
Yeah, he does like being spoiled, and she likes spoiling. Works out pretty well.
Oh, wow.
He gets to see what my life's like every day. She loves food. She's a foodie. It's just awesome.
That is. I have to admit, I'm not a very
Are you
good
taking time off for the holidays? You're going to get to see the grandson and
come cook or crook. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do it.
hell or high water.
Yes. No, Sam's probably gonna have to work on Christmas, so we'll have to do something flexible around that because sounded like he's probably gonna have to fly over the Christmas and New Year's.
A lot of people traveling.
Yeah. Well, it's private jets. He's flying for Comcast, so he's flying Comcast executives
And the
around.
executives are working.
I don't think they're working. I think he might be going to Aruba or something.
Oh, he's taking them to their little vacation spots. Oh,
Yeah, the
geez.
top executives, they aren't
They don't make enough
restricted
money
to.
as it is. Now they get private transportation everywhere they go.
Yeah.
It's like in
He's flown him
Shutesbury.
to Martha's Vineyard.
Oh,
and-
is that's like, is that what it was like on the select board?
Oh, definitely. We've gone everywhere.
Yeah, you should have stop slumming in FinCom and get all the rewards for the selectmen.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, my God.
April, you have family coming for the holidays or do you travel?
What are we doing? Well, we're having my great niece and nephew they're Jewish, but their mom said that they can come up and decorate the tree on Sunday. So we're having a kind of a pre-Christmas gathering. And then Christmas,
nice.
my kids don't live far away. So we'll probably just be all day Christmas with them and it'll be fun.
Well, the Christmas tree is not really a Christian thing. It's more a winter thing.
No, absolutely. And I just, but what I'm realizing is that their mom is realizing that they're 3 and 6 and that they could spend the night. And I'm not quite ready for that. I do love them dearly, but yeah, soon.
They're a handful, I'll bet.
They are, well, yeah, they're not wild children, but they're just, yeah, they need.
Children are active. They're just busy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And they talk.
They talk.
And when they want attention, you can't ignore them.
No. Is this your
No,
first
that could make them
George?
mad.
Oh,
Yeah.
what, Becky?
I said, if you ignore them, that could make them mad.
Yes. They know how to get even.
So George, your
Yeah.
grandchild in Boston. Is it Boston?
Yeah, Charlie. Jersey City, New Jersey. He's my first. Yep. It's a big
Great.
deal. Yeah, pretty exciting.
Charlie.
Becky, how many grandchildren do you have now?
One. I think I'm only, well, Ben's girlfriend has 2 kids, but I don't think they're gonna have children.
If he gets married, they'd be step grandchildren.
Yeah. But I spend a lot of time with them.
Oh, that's nice.
We do things with them. We've spent Christmas with them and different.
So they see you as a grandparent.
Yep,
Oh, that's great.
yep. I get a special name. I'm Bima.
Oh,
Well, that's nice.
Bima.
What's the origin of that?
It's Navajo.
Okay.
Yeah. Art studied Navajo. And it just somehow Benny used it and then it stuck because Benny was using it. But Michael's, my own grandson, just got his COVID shot. He's 5.
He is not.
He's going to be 6 pretty soon.
Wow. I
Yeah.
remember when you were showing off pictures of him when he was born.
I
To the
know.
personnel board.
Yeah. He went to Legoland in Philadelphia this weekend. That's a pretty cool place.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I can't even imagine.
Oh my God.
How
He's hugging, there's a
exciting.
picture of him hugging a polar bear that's bigger than life size. It's just, they've got everything there. And he fist bumped Santa Lego Claus. They had a special Santa, a real person though, dressed as like he was made out of Legos. It was
Yeah, I was
kind
gonna say, is it a Lego outfit?
of-
Lego has figured out how to do everything. Anything with a Lego, they can do anything.
Oh my God, they do. Yeah.
I'd like to be an engineer there. That must be fun. Just working on
You guys
things.
have a slew of grandchildren, but they're in Colorado. Is that where they are?
Okay.
I have 2 in Colorado and 3 in Rhode Island,
Woo!
and another one on the way.
All right.
Congratulations.
That should be enough. That would be 3 boys and 3 girls.
Oh my
I do worry
goodness.
about their future, frankly. I worry about what's coming down the pike.
Yeah.
Anyway, but our youngest, Katie, it's Katie.
Yeah,
That-
same age as Sam.
Yeah, and they were married last June, and their baby is due June 20th. They were married
Wow.
June 5th, so they've been together for 4 years, and so decided, okay, we'll get married and then we'll have a kid, I guess.
They did.
Well, a lot of times
Yeah.
that's when they decide to get married, is when they decide that they want to have a
Yeah.
family.
That's exactly what happened. So anyway, but she's Sam's age.
Yep, they were in class together.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Melissa said she'd join us when she's finishing up work. So she said she would join us. I did not hear from or did
Melody?
we? Yeah, did we hear from Melody? I don't think so.
No, not at all.
So
Hmm.
we have enough people to get going? We should, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one thing before I forget, 6:15, can we move it to 6:30 just because?
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
from now on, let's do 6:30 meetings.
You got it. I'm gonna put,
What?
and at the end of the meeting, we should talk about our future dates, but I'll put the 6:30 time next to them.
Okay, that would be great because I'm thinking of, people coming from work, which happens, with
Well,
Melissa, right? With
Right.
Melissa, that happens, half the time. So does that work for you, Becky? I don't
I'm
know.
sorry, what did you say about Melissa?
I'm just saying very often she's coming from work. So I'm thinking if we can put it to 6:30, or does that
She
mess
has
up?
asked for, because select board to accommodate her schedule is doing 5:45.
Oh. Well, when she wrote me, she
Today's
said,
an exceptional day. She's
Oh.
working late. It's
Oh.
an event situation.
but does 6:30 work for you, for your schedule? As opposed to 6:15?
Sure, I'm pretty sure somebody asked for 6:15 this week because I wrote it down.
Oh.
It's in my notes from the end of last meeting.
Okay.
You guys
yeah, I
asked
wonder if
for
it was
6,
Melody.
This,
it probably was.
Probably was who,
I'm
George?
flexible, so whatever works for everybody, I'm totally okay with.
Okay,
Me
all right.
too.
Let's try 6:30 and see how that works for folks.
Okay, I'll put that in the minutes.
Okay,
okay.
so shall we move forward on our agenda?
Yes.
I looked through the minutes. They look fine to me. I was only here for part of the meeting, but They seem fine to me. My
I
only
think they look
question is,
good. Yeah,
my only question to Becky is, how is Ryan doing?
Um,
I heard
He-
he had emergency surgery.
he
What?
had appendicitis
oh,
and he had emergency surgery yesterday and I didn't bother him today. I
Oh,
figured
my God.
he needed to sleep.
Well, the poor guy.
wow. Okay, so
So I'm asking him right now, since you asked, George.
Yeah, how's he doing? Yes.
How you doing?
But I didn't have anything on the minutes. They look fine to me.
okay, they look fine to me too. So all those in favor of accepting the minutes from the 11/4/21 meeting, say aye.
Aye. Arvanitis, aye.
Stein Eye.
Ross, aye.
Right.
Okay,
So where are we on the agenda? This is complicated. Where's the agenda? I don't have any ink. I usually like to print out the agenda.
I don't have, we were going to talk about whether or not I think the question was, did Becky reach
Yeah.
the Amherst? Did you hear from Amherst?
No. We're still trying to bootleg, we're talking about trying to buy a bootleg copy. Did you get anywhere, April?
Didn't, I left a message with, I have Sandy Stapsinski at the, what did they call it? Human Resource HRS. They seem like a good organization, actually. And she's the president of it, and she holds on to this. It's copywritten. And I left her a message saying, would you consider sharing that with us? Maybe we could purchase it from you. We could talk to you about it. Is there some way that we can have access? And she's not gotten back to me. I also have emailed her and have not heard back. But what I did do, and it was interesting, I read their report. This is what you do when you're retired. It's like it was just sort of how they outlined their process in their salary survey, which is in a way what we're trying to do. But they had the ability to, they looked very thoroughly at the market, other towns around the state that were comparable to Amherst, and really analyzed the employee pay rates. And they came up with a classification plan, a compensation plan that really, if we could access that, what's it called? The job, that job classification tool, I think it would be amazing. I can share, they had in that, what do you call it? The PowerPoint that we were given, this was that they had shared with Amherst. There was a very general sort of how, what the classifications were. And then what they had in the report was something a little more fleshed out with a paragraph for each one. And then they showed, I copied the, where each of their employees fit into the new classification scale. But what we don't have is the actual tool. Their process for using a tool is they hire outside people, consultants actually do the grading part, but that's not something that we would do.
Right.
Are you talking, can I just ask a question? Are you talking about the step system?
Well, I talk about a step system as well, but this is.
Okay, so I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. No, it's how you grade. Where does a job grade fit? But how do you classify and compare jobs? Grade 10 to grade 1. They did work on Amherst's what do you call it? Their step system, and found what they ended up doing was bringing nobody, when they implemented the new step system that this classification evolved to, it did cost the town a chunk of change. It was about It was a 2.2% increase overall for the budget for all employees. And this was done in 2015. And they made it so nobody would lose a step or lose money. But they found a way to sort of people who are lingering at the top step. You know, how do you make sure that there's a COLA that keeps people employed at the fair market price? Which is, as I'm reading this is what we're trying to do. But we don't have all we're not as sophisticated, I guess. And what we're trying to do is just look at, the local towns and where do we fit in. And I think that may be what, unless we can get this tool, that seems to be what we're left with.
Yeah, it seems like that. And we don't have money to go out and hire somebody to do all this anyway.
No, I mean, I was thinking if there was this might cost us some money to buy this from them, but I'm not thinking they're anxious to do that.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
I wouldn't give up yet.
Okay.
Well, my concern is, don't we have to be in touch with talking about the salaries?
Right.
We need to be getting to the FinCom by what? The end of January? Or
time is running short.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so when we usually do the COLA in February, right?
Mm-hmm. We have that meeting.
Yes, and,
Well,
and
now we
remember
don't
this
need a
year we
meeting.
have a new policy in place,
Right.
and so we're going to have to gather some information and do some calculating.
Because the COLA is going to be significant this year, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the latest number, the third year, because we're doing a 3-year average, the third year is definitely going to be a big number, I would bet.
Mm-hmm.
It'll average, so, the pay rates won't be 6%. It'll be buffered by the previous 2 years, but yes. April, can I ask you, so who did you contact to talk about this tool?
Her name is Sandy. It's STAPCMSKI.
Yeah, I didn't get that, but where does she work?
She is the president of, where is that?
Human Resource Associates?
Yes. It's a private organization. They work with municipalities and nonprofits. Let me see if I can forward you all.
Municipality HR departments. Okay.
I've got, I can forward you the attachments I gave to Becky. They're just sort of the proposed classification system and the plan, but we don't have the actual tool.
Mm-hmm.
So we're frustratingly close.
But April,
Yeah.
I'm wondering, so the main thing we're missing is what we're missing is the point schedule.
Yep.
And we have what our old point schedule was,
Yes.
and there's only 2 new categories, right?
Is that right? No, wait a minute. There's more than that. I think that's right. Actually, you're right. It's what their classification system for Amherst did was sort of break out supervisory functions a little more, and then they also added independence and manual skills in terms of complexity. No, that's not true. No, they did not have. No, they did not have the independence, did not have the manual skills, but they did add complexity of the job, confidentiality, and problem-solving skills and efforts. Those were the 3 things. Is that it? Yeah, that we don't have on ours.
All right, so you know what I think we should do? I think we should make those changes and determine our own numbers and just go for it.
I've been sort of thinking that might be what we have to do. Let me send you guys the summary of Human Resources, Inc. job evaluation system. Because that's the headings.
So just before we move on, just for the minutes, So are you saying that this software, this tool is not available for us?
You know, maybe I'm giving up too soon. You know, I contacted her and said, could we, you know, is there any way we could access this? And I have not heard back. It's just been a couple of days.
Okay, okay.
So,
And also, Becky, have you heard from Donna Keneally?
No,
Okay.
no, we're going past Donna.
Okay, all right.
She's the one who said the copyright, that the document we need is copyrighted, so she couldn't give it to us. So we're
Okay.
calling the people who have copyrighted their own material. And we're
Okay.
asking if they, you know, begging to use their material. But we have 3 of the major components, I think.
I'm trying to see if, I'm not a good screen sharer. Is there any way you could share that?
Which one do you want me to share?
I'm thinking the job classification where it has each heading and then there's a little descriptive about what is what they're evaluating under that. I'm not good at.
Which document is that one in? I have
That
it.
was, let me see, I sent you.
I have the sample rating sheet, but that's not what you want. You want the new one of these.
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Yep.
On December 15th, with the attachments. The
Okay.
classification, I could send this to people. That would be fine to do too. Here it is. Actually, I've got it up. If maybe I can share it. It's
I will
on.
give you permission to do that.
Well, wish me luck.
Hold on, I got to make you a co-host.
Okay, how do I do this? Okay, on my.
Wait, it'll tell you when you're co-host.
It
Oh, I
says
am.
now,
Okay,
on
here's-
my computer, it says you're now co-host.
Okay. Let me see.
Then you have to have it open on your desktop,
Yeah, I do. And it's,
and then you pick it. After you press that green share screen button.
yeah, and then I've got a Zoom meeting desktop 1. Is that what I'm looking or oh, I see. Maybe it's that.
You should see a funny little document image that looks similar to what you want to put up.
Okay. I'm failing at this. I've tried this before.
Okay, I'll get it open. Is it the proposed classification plan or the classification plan headings? It's the headings, right?
It's the headings. Yeah. Because I guess I was thinking along what you're saying, Becky, is maybe we could just be creative.
Yeah, I think we should mirror what we've done in the past, but with the new categories.
So what I'm talking about is the Summary of Human Resources, Inc. Job Evaluation System.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good. Good.
Gotta find it.
Yeah, I'm concerned about our time
Yeah,
frame. I
Legitimately
really am.
so, yeah.
me too.
Press escape or double click.
Can you guys all see it?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God, you did it. Great.
Beautiful. So which categories are we going to add? There's 3 of them, you said?
Well, as I looked through, I compared them and see knowledge we have, but theirs is a little more fleshed out. Let's see, experience we both have, judgment we have, accountability. Interrelationships we look at, but they're looking at interactions with others and customer service. Physical skills and effort is about the same. Physical environment's the same.
Complexity is new.
That's new. Complexity, confidentiality, and problem-solving skills and efforts.
Where's yeah.
I see problem solving skills and efforts. What are you saying about that category?
They're
Mhm.
new.
Oh,
See
They're
that?
different.
One second.
So in our tool, they don't have the complexity, confidentiality, solving skills. And also looking at customer service, that's something. And this also looks at supervision. They break it into supervision received, given, and scope, which we just look at supervision, supervisory. The tool we're using, I don't know if either of you have ever seen it. It's from the 90s. It's not a new tool.
I think we did look at it and it's pretty basic.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
familiar with it.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think, George, you've done some of these computations,
Yes,
I'm pretty sure.
yes.
I'm sorry, April, it was confidentiality, complexity, and the third one is,
Problem solving skills and effort. That's the third from the top.
okay. So those are all new.
Those are different, right? And
The-
also the interrelationships is flushed out a little more. It's interactions with others and customer service, which I think is a much better way of looking at it. And it does not look at independence. And it does not look at manual skills by itself.
It has physical skills and effort.
Yeah.
So basically, when you compute all these changes they've made, it's less. So right now, if you look at the table, if the physical attributes of a job carry more weight. So
Right.
when we did the tabulations for the town administrator, police chief and fire chief and highway superintendent, I believe the town administrator came in below the highway superintendent. There was no way to match it. And I believe when you use this new list, it won't happen that way.
Right.
There's more acknowledgement of responsibility and especially the confidentiality. There's aspects about an administrative job that get more credit than they used to, which I think going forward is, also leads to a more equitable, and at least between managers. Anyway, so
Well,
and less sexist determination. And I think those changes are really key and important for the town to look at. And even the way supervision is broken out.
Mhm. And I think, you look at how the whole financial team's reimbursement is really lagging the rest of the region. And I think I think they're like grade 8. And this might look at those kind of jobs in a different light, because those jobs don't have a whole lot of manual skills. They're not building things. And also the interactions with other and customer service is, that's goes across the board. Because I think what we're at that position that I think Amherst found when they hired this consultant in 2014 is that, they can't match the labor market. And
Yeah.
just even looking at other municipalities, their study looked at, I think a dozen municipalities across Massachusetts and Vermont and New Hampshire, sort of looking at college towns, similar to Amherst, and found that they were really out of whack, much lower than the averages they were finding. And I think we're in a similar situation.
Mhm.
You're telling me that adding these additional criteria is going to raise everybody's pay?
Well, I think what it might do is look at the grade system differently. I mean,
I
I
don't
think
think
at
it
one
can,
point,
on its own, I don't think it can raise pay. I think
Well-
it's how that positions are compared to other positions.
yeah,
Right, I get that, but I'm trying to remember the system. I remember that there's many different categories and there was points. And you added up the points and then the points told you the total points, put them in classifications in terms of level of complexity or value of the job or however you want to put it.
yeah.
But then that doesn't really equate to dollars. It's just categorizing everybody relative to each other, you're saying.
Yeah.
Right. And then I think the other part of the job is what we've been looking at is what are other organizations, what are other towns paying? You know,
Right.
they found that Amherst was about 20% below the market at that time. And I'm thinking we're not, I don't know if it's 20%, but just looking at this, you know, comparing the assessor and the treasurer and collector and accountant, we're not, you know, we're significantly lagging. And some of that, I think, goes back to what grade those positions are within our own structure, but it's also that we just have not kept up with raises the same way.
You said this was, you said this was in 2014 that they did this, more or less?
Yes. Yeah,
So have they caught up? Has Amherst caught up with, do you know? They
I
have,
don't know the answer yet.
oh,
I don't, you know, I don't know. I know that in 2015, they made a significant correction. and
uh-huh,
They added about $82,000, which was a 2.2% increase.
okay, right, okay.
So,
Across the board.
and that's a really good question. If it did this work after all this?
Yeah, after all that, did it work?
So I'm just wondering if we're changing the classification, we're adding these criteria, are we gonna have to go through and do the rating on every position in town?
Yeah.
When we're, you know, but we have a deadline, as Peg was pointing out, that we have, and we know that there's about, I don't know, 8 positions, 6 or 7 positions that we still need to look at.
Mhm.
And I'm just wondering if this is a distraction at this point. I can see how it could benefit that work, but would we feasibly be able to do all this in a short period of time?
Right.
That's what I was concerned about.
I think if we can tonight, kind of agree on some numbers for the different categories, given what we have, the number of points we have for currently, and what that total is. I think in a couple of days, if April can give me a day, we could get this all done by the next meeting in January.
I bet we could.
But we also want to have, that would be great if we can. I don't want to discourage that, but we also have to be thinking about the numbers we have to get to the FinCom. So,
Right. You're absolutely right.
Why don't we let Becky and April, why don't Becky and April proceed in that manner? And see what we can come up with and what we can look at. And in the meantime, before we leave tonight, we could go back to these other positions and just start looking how they rate relative to
I
Franklin
agree.
County.
Right.
I agree.
Because it felt like at the last meeting, we were getting close, or we've been getting closer to.
Yes.
Well, we've
numbers.
knocked 3
looking
positions
at-
off,
We're looking
so
at
we can just keep
accountants.
proceeding.
Yeah,
I'm
we're looking
sorry,
to,
George.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I didn't hear what you, I was
Oh,
interrupting
no,
you.
I just said, to April's point, we've already completed 3 positions out of 7, out of 9 or 10. And so we could probably knock off a couple tonight. And then in our next meeting, see where we are and continue to attack the other ones. And hopefully
By
we might
then,
have to meet twice in January, but then have something for the February meeting. And
yeah,
for the FinCom to put in the budget
that
or
sounds
to present
good.
to the FinCom.
So we're talking about tonight, the accountant, collector. See how many we can get done. Treasurer and assessor are the 4 that I have that from April's.
Yeah, well, the collector is actually done. Accountant, administrative assessor, assessor clerk, equipment operator, librarian, and town clerk. Those are the 6 that remain.
Okay, so why don't we try to get going tonight on this?
But
Meanwhile-
do we have firm numbers on those? That was, I was looking through my notes and it got jumbled.
Somebody might be here on 8 or 9.
Like the firm numbers for what the salary is now and what were the proposed corrective.
Did we get
Do
already?
we have that?
30 or
Maybe we need George to screen share.
Yeah, I think so.
can you do it?
Current,
Okay.
current, and what's the other is current and proposed.
Okay.
I think they're in the last, I think they're in minutes that we've done in the past. So let me pull up minutes.
I think, yes.
I think if you look at the minutes and I'm happy to bring it up, but I'm seeing if I've got it in some minutes here.
I should stop sharing this, right?
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. And in the meantime, I'm looking for,
yeah, where is that?
Okay, I will do that.
Is the accountant, collector, treasurer, and assessor?
yeah, so for the tax collector,
Working on it.
we decided to tax collector in the state of Franklin County. I'm looking at the minutes that we approved for October 21st. And we basically said that the tax collector,
Okay, thanks. Yeah, bye.
534 to 27. And then the treasurer goes from 2176 to 25.
5.
Okay.
And so who am I missing? I missed the tax.
The accountant,
The accountant,
Oh, no, the assistant tax collector. Did we come up with a firm number for the assistant tax collector?
right.
Yeah. That's, yeah, that's what it was.
And I don't see that in the minutes. I'm looking.
Weren't we? Oh, that's right. It wasn't going to be at this. Was it gonna be the
I'll be
same rate?
back. I'm gonna go look for my file.
And I don't have that. But we have the accountant done as well. Is that right?
I don't think so.
And the assessor.
I'm not sure that we have the accountant done, but here, let me,
No, we were gonna do the accountant and the administrative assessor tonight.
okay. And I think we were close. We had talked about them. I can show you what I've got. And when I take the screen, I will show you what I've got.
Okay, that'll
But I'm
help.
not sure what we decided on the assistant tax collector.
We nailed that down because I think it was 20, 25, because Ellen was gonna be 27 and his was gonna go up to 25, I think.
But we were going to make that pay the same rate his new treasury salary is going to pay
So he's going to get 25.
for both jobs.
That makes sense.
Yes. And that's a lot easier to administer. You know, he just gets paid for the hours he works at the same rate.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's the 3.
Okay, so accountant and administrative assessor.
Yes, okay, so you'd like me to take the screen. All
Take that screen.
right,
that's
give me
why
one
I
second
made
here.
you
For
co-host.
So for the minutes, we talked about adding these 5 things. So April and Becky will meet and add
This
these
way.
5 criteria
Yeah.
to the Shutesbury class system. I'll just put that shorthand out. All right. And present for next meeting and present at next. Okay. All right. All right. So screen share.
I have to learn how to do that.
And so I've been set up as presenter, right? Or I'm able to. All right. Can you all, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing
There, we
there,
got
I'm
it.
seeing it right now. Perfect.
I
Okay,
see the
good.
light. We see the God. Yes.
That's our spreadsheet.
It's beautiful.
So I'm not sure, here, I'm just gonna flip, so I got a scratch pad to write on. I'm not sure what I was doing. I mean, it looks like we were talking about a 9% raise here, which would raise it to 26 or
Yeah.
16 annually, 1,700 annually. 2388.
Yep.
Did
Yeah.
26, and how did we feel about that? And I'm not sure how we even got to this point.
Yeah, I think I have down 23.88 an hour that we decided on, didn't we? Are you saying that, George?
So what, she's currently paid, our accountant is currently paid 2388, and it looks
Oh.
like we were looking at a 9%
Oh.
raise, brought the position up to $26 an hour. Is basically
That's
what we
right.
were talking about, was going to 26.
Yeah.
It's more like 88, kind of thing. And so I'm not sure why we picked this number, but it looks like that's what we were considering. When you look at the different towns, most of them are very high. Row is low, but look at Heath.
Because everybody else is using the FERCog accountants.
Yes.
So
Now,
where
when
do
I switch screens, give me a second here.
Okay.
Do you
we
see
did-
the FERCog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's your accountants. And see all these ones with asterisks next to them?
Yep.
They're all using,
It's
they're all
expensive.
contracting through the FERCog.
So the
Okay.
the difference there is FERCog includes benefits. We think, but
Makes
even, I think we kind of discounted the benefits, but even so, the town, if we estimate what we pay in benefits, which for this position, which is not benefited, is 0.
Wow.
So even if they are paying benefits,
Yeah, how do you even it out?
we still need to add something to compensate for that.
Mhm.
Becky, what's the rate that the FERCog charges out?
It's like $45 an hour.
I thought it was like 70 something. I thought it was higher. How can we see it here? So look at that, 29,543 seems to be the going rate for 8 hours a week. Let me get out
Yeah.
my handy dandy calculator. 29,543. Actually, 29,543, and you got 8 times,
52.
yeah, so $71 an hour. Now,
Wow.
that's got bennies in it. If
Yeah.
bennies are 30%,
Mhm.
30, that's pretty steep.
yeah, my company used to use 28. Want to use 25? Then it would be 50.
Why
Call it
wouldn't you
50.
use 20?
Why, how did you come up with 20, Becky?
George said his company used to use 20.
25?
Used to use 28, actually.
Oh,
When I
28.
was working, the company I worked for used 28. That was our burden rate.
Okay, let's go for 25.
So 75% of this pay, 75% of this is pay. So that's their hourly rate. Now,
Wow.
remember, the FERCog, do they have administrative costs or anything buried in this rate as well? I know they don't have a profit margin, but they have something built in to cover their costs.
Yeah, their administration of the program. But I think if we take out 25%, we're taking out their admin fees.
All
Okay.
right, so then you're saying $50, $53 is the rate, which is $100,000 a year, by the way.
How did you get $53?
75%. So we took the amount that we saw some towns pay that were
Okay.
paying for 8 hours 8 hours a week, which is
Week.
416. We got an hourly rate, and I
Hmm.
took 75% of that. 25% is, I could have divided by 1.25. I would have got a slightly different number, but basically, after benefits are out, the towns are paying $57. So what's that $57? Is that the salary of the accountant? If that's the salary of the accountant, that's a pretty good pay rate.
Mhm.
And it's still more than double what we're looking at here and even here.
Mhm.
Right.
And you gotta admit, I mean, the market is, we're just so fortunate to have Gail. She's like the best. And,
Does she work for any other towns?
yes. She's currently full-time in Orange, but she's retiring in 5 months.
If she was a
She
work
also
full,
works in Pelham.
at $26, if she was a full-time employee, she'd be basically a $54,000 a year position. Accountants are getting more like 75 to 90. I mean, I'm not sure actually, but
Do we know
certainly
what,
they're getting more than 54.
do we know what Pelham pays her?
No.
Yeah, Pelham, we don't have Pelham's number.
No, it's right, wrong county.
And it's more of a hybrid. There's a person doing the accounting work, but she kind of oversees them because she's very good at all the rules and regulations. She tries to keep them legal.
And she's been scaling back the work she's doing, right? She's
No.
dropped some towns or a town.
No, I mean, when she retires from Orange, she won't have Orange in 5 months.
That right. So my point is, how long before she retires from here? We want to make
Right.
sure that we have built into the budget money that we can attract somebody with or be closer to attracting somebody in the
But we
future.
want to pay her what the position's worth so we can transition down the road.
Absolutely.
I know,
I
but
mean,
I have a bad feeling about that.
Yeah, it's
But
gonna be
that's-
tough. See that we don't want to end up with FERCog,
mm-mm.
but we could. And if we did, we need to be closer to be, we need to make sure her compensation is closer in line. But it's tough because all the financial people look at each other's numbers.
Oh, I bet they do.
Well, we got a long
Good.
way to go. We've got a real long way to go in this case.
Yep.
So when you look at, okay, there's average state and then right next to us, average local. Goes up.
Don't trust this number. No, average state, these numbers are just my calculations for this position and for this position. I was just, we were talking numbers. I don't have state information for these positions. The only positions I had state information for were this and this. I'm just using these columns for my
Okay.
calculation.
I see, okay.
In fact, I can eliminate that confusion.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'll just,
How about
Just
that's
calcs.
proposed? Okay, yeah.
yes, propose. I like that. I'll use that.
Because we've got, I mean, this is, you look at the administrative assessor, we're in a similar kind of bind. But then we have a town that doesn't always have an appetite for approving large pay raises.
We're going to have a sale job to do with the finance committee. I mean,
Oh,
we are
we
going to
are.
have to be very convincing in our story. There's going to be pushback.
Well, but the reality is you pay people what they're worth and you get we've got good team.
We do, and the other reality is, if we don't pay them enough, if we need to draw more people in, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard finding somebody to replace these people that we have
Yes.
now.
Yes,
at the rate
all
they're
of them.
being paid. That's got to be what the FinCom is going to say. If we lose any of these people, we'll have a really hard time replacing them.
And it
That's
will
right.
cost
And we're-
us more.
We'll end up having a huge jump in our budget at that point in time. So this at least mitigates a big jump and moves us closer to where we're going to
Yes.
have to be.
Exactly.
Yes.
So Ryan texted me back. He said, I'm doing good, just very sore at the moment, but have improved a lot since this morning.
Oh, wow.
And
Good,
He
he's
said-
recovering.
then I texted him some stuff and he said, thanks, I appreciate that. I'll be in sometime this weekend. Luckily, most everyone emails payroll, so I will be able to get school started today. Oh my God, he's doing it in the hospital.
He's in the hospital?
I think he's I think he is.
Well,
But
these
still-
days, they kick you out of the hospital
Yeah,
pretty
they kick
quick.
you out pretty quickly, yeah.
But still, he had his appendix out yesterday.
Yep.
He's young.
Yeah, it's arthroscopic, right? I mean, they do a cut, they go in. These days, it's a lot less invasive, and they can release sooner. I don't know. There is a chance he's not in a hospital.
But still, he's
Yeah,
dedicated.
no, you're right. I mean, he's probably
Again,
under medication.
it reflects the kind of person that he was a really good hire and we want to keep him.
And it's true, April, he turned out to be everything we thought he would be.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yep. We felt good about that one. So, okay, so what are we gonna do about the accountant again?
Well,
How far can we push it? And what kind of justification can we have to do that? Average local is this number.
right.
Yeah,
Well, and we have the same problem with the assessor.
That would be an
Average
increase
local.
in what we pay this person of $11,552 in our budget.
Wow.
Wow, annually, wow, that's.
Yep. We'd have to increase the budget line by that amount.
I don't think we can do that.
No,
That would be a 62% pay increase.
no. So can we come up with a no more than percent pay increase at this juncture?
I mean, maybe keep that information, and as we figure out how far we can go across the board so that nobody's left out,
Mhm.
set a
information, Becky?
maximum target and then what we can afford at this time.
That's a good idea.
So you're saying,
So there's a sort of an ultimate target.
so target would be local average?
Yeah,
yes.
for all of them.
True. I mean, the snow would be the same and all, but a local average equals, I forget what it was, 11,000 plus K budget increase.
Mhm.
And that is hourly, it was 38, what was it an hour? 30,
That's 38 something.
yeah,
3869.
38.69. Put that in there too someplace.
Yeah, so maybe the current proposed and ultimate target, maybe? Just
Say
to
that again.
have that.
April, say that again, please.
Well, we could have the current and the proposed, and then maybe a column of the ultimate target.
Hmm.
Okay, give me a second here. You're asking me to insert new columns. All right,
Yeah.
no problem.
You're gonna do
Oh,
it.
I love watching you run a
I
spread.
know.
It's amazing to me.
No, this is what I did. This is just what we do in finance. Okay,
Right.
so a target rate or target salary,
Yeah,
called target.
Target that equals the local average.
yeah. Yeah, target / local average.
All right, so let me just change the color of these so they're unique. What color would you like? We'll go that
So-
color.
What are we looking for here?
Oh, we have lots of colors here now. That's lovely.
Just want to make these different. So the local average, so 38, so we already have the local average, so we know what that is. But what local average budget increase, right? That's the number we want to look at. And correct me if I'm wrong, but
Wait,
so it
local-
would be this minus that times, in her case, that times 52.
Oh, okay, that's a better way to do it. Because that's the
Except that I
bottom
did something
line.
wrong. Order of
You just
operations,
didn't put
I
in
see what it is.
parentheses.
Yep. Here we go. So it's 11,000. That's the increase if we go to the target. Is that what we want to see?
That actually is a good
yeah.
way to look at it.
Okay.
I think.
And that's
can always-
11,000 from where we are currently at.
Right.
It's a
Well,
62%.
no, with the increase, right? If we get the increase to 26, then we are still 11,000 behind. Isn't that 555 below what we need to be? Is that correct? Or is it
You're
that,
saying what's the proposed increase? So what is this minus that? Put it in parentheses,
All right.
times 15 times 52. That's the annual increase.
Okay.
Did I do that right? Yeah, this
so if we-
minus that. And so proposed budget increase. So from that perspective, I think we can do better than $26 an hour.
Mhm.
I mean, let's go to $2,000. You know, so a 10% increase, 15, an 11% increase is 20,000, so 10.5% increase, 10.7% increase, 10.8% increase is $2,000.
All
So if
right.
we went up to 2646, that increases the budget by $2,000. Just for visualization, I'm not proposing that, I just so
Right.
you can see it.
Maybe we should run this method for all the numbers that we have. I mean,
Yeah.
for all the open jobs that we're working on.
Yeah. Because this is a better way, this is a way to understand it.
Oh, it's fast too.
Well, look at that. Wait a minute.
no,
The assessor's clerk went negative.
Yeah, I'll fix the formulas, but I'm just moving them now.
Yep.
You're right, I don't know what I did wrong, but let me look.
No, I
Oh,
don't
I
think
know
you
what I
did
did wrong.
anything
They're
wrong.
negatives
It's
'cause we
the-
haven't put
it's-
numbers in.
It's the other column, the D column is empty.
You speak
So it
this
goes to
language, too.
0.
Well, proposed isn't,
I'm just throwing numbers in to make the formulas work. So the formulas will work once we put the numbers in.
okay.
So back
So-
to the accountant. What do we think about that?
Yeah.
Well,
Or do you just want to go do them all? Well,
yeah, let's do them all, George. So
right, so-
what about, so the average local, how is the average local getting into the equation?
all right, so this here is taking the, uh-oh.
No, that's the assessor. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm missing the average local. I'm in the wrong column. Column.
Yeah, it should be I,
Actually, it's
J. No, it's I. Average local is I.
H.
Oh, it is A. Oh, it goes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's confusing
I'm
because I put these sideways so we can see them,
Yeah,
but it's actually H. So you can see it's taking what's in H, it's subtracting. All right,
what's in C,
well, it's got to be B.
right.
So let me fix that. Now, you're not impressed anymore now, are you?
I am.
I'm impressed with both of you.
I'm
I
doing
still
something.
am. I'm just watching everything moving around and tell me when it's done.
Send you
Agreed.
the results.
Yeah, because right now,
So I am confused with what we're trying to do here. So let's remember what we're trying to do here. So this one is the annual increase. So this is just saying whatever we put in here, what is the increase from that in an annual budget basis? And
Right.
then I want to say
Right.
if we did that, just bear with me, we get this, but we don't want to look at what's in D. We want to look at what's in H.
Yes.
Correct.
Because I think that will help sell it to the FinCom.
So that's the formula we want. Oops. So that's the formula we want. I'm just going to put it in all the ones that have red in column B. And I'm just pasting.
All right.
And we'll double check everyone. I'll double check everyone as we go. But so
Okay.
if we were to propose this rate for the accountant, we'd have to increase the budget by that amount.
Okay,
If we were to propose the average local, it would be this.
Okay,
And that's the case
all the way down.
as well. Still below the average local. If the average local was 2623, you get the same number. So that's how I know the formula works. But
So
we're
is,
using,
so the proposed, where's the proposed coming from again?
well, that's
That's
just the
what
number
we
we
made-
talked
we
about last
agreed.
time. That's a 20% increase for the assessor. Now, we talked about that in the context of the average local and the highs and
Mhm.
lows, looking at these different towns.
Yeah. Okay.
But this was just a conversation that we had the last time, so I don't need this note.
I would leave it.
Yeah,
All right, it's documented here, but okay. So so for the administrative secretary, what would we think? I mean, 26, we're looking at 20, this is a 20% increase right here.
Okay, so that's the admin assessor we're looking at.
Yes,
Okay.
because we talked about going down the line.
yeah. So we have proposed figures for the entire financial team now.
Well, no, because we have to fill in the proposed numbers.
Right.
Okay, George is still changing the formula
I'm
and
sorry.
adding
Yeah,
a
I'm just doing-
percent increase.
I'm listening. I'm gonna go get a ginger ale.
Well, I'll have one too.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
really good.
we'll all take one. Thanks, Peg.
Okay, I'll be right back.
No ice.
Appreciate it.
Go, George. Go, George. Work on
All right,
that.
I just thought you'd be interested in seeing the percent increase.
Yeah,
So I just inserted this column. So what we're, if we propose this for the accountant, it's an 11% increase over where she is now. That would be a 20% increase, looking at the 2945. So what do you think? Is that asking too much?
I think it kind of squares up with the other positions,
Mhm.
the treasurer and collector.
So treasurer's 25, collector's 27, accountant's
think-
26.
And I think what happened, part of the problem and why this number is much higher percent increase is, I think when we increased the other financial people, we did not include the assessor in a big bump years ago. It was the other three that got
Oh.
addressed.
I think
Yeah.
that's right.
I
Because,
do
and
recall
he
that.
is-
I don't remember talking about the assessor during that conversation.
Yeah, I
agree.
don't either. And I think he was skipped. And I think he has been, we have paid him the lowest amount. Yeah, if you go across to the other towns, that position was well underpaid before Ken.
Well, there's your high,
Here.
there's your median, there's your average, and then there's your lowest is, look at the lowest compared to us.
Yeah,
Remember, these numbers don't include us on the right. So just to get to the lowest rate, right? We're barely there at this.
Right.
Oh,
It looks like it's buckling.
well, it's, yeah, outside of us, Buckland is the lowest. And the rest,
Yeah.
and like Gail Weiss was telling me today that thank God we didn't hire that consulting firm who was
Mm.
Kevin's competition.
Yep.
They still don't have their tax rate set. And they've had all kinds of problems.
Oh, my God. And they were going to cost us more.
Yep.
So retaining him as an assessor is not a bad idea.
No, it's important.
Yeah.
He's pretty
He's-
conscientious.
He has earned that 20% in terms of making sure that things are assessed.
Yep. No, he's brought a bunch of new things under assessment that weren't before. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Assessor's clerk.
And the other thing, we're going to have to review this tool with a sense of magnitude of the total.
Right. Well, that's where it's like George is keeping that annual budget So right now we're looking at $6,500.
Want me to keep running total in that column? Well, I'll do it at the end. So on this one, if we went to the average, it's basically a 9% increase and it costs us $1,400.
Mhm. I think that makes sense.
I think the average makes sense.
Same thing here.
And we don't have an assistant town clerk anymore, so
And that doesn't. Oh, collector, we did this one already, right?
Yeah,
This is
Yes,
done. All right, so we don't
Yeah.
need
I'm
this.
glad, no, we need it.
I
It'll be
think it's
part of
nice
the
to
total.
have, I think it's
Yeah.
good to have all that in there.
yes,
This is done, right? This is the
Well,
number we
but it
already
has
approved.
not been awarded. I
Okay,
mean,
we have to sell it.
all right, so I'm gonna make it bold, which means we've already come to a conclusion ourselves.
Yes.
okay, and we just want to change the $1 million amounts in the budget.
Yes,
That would
good
be an
idea.
interesting. Well, she has worked for the
He
town
is
for a
special,
long.
but.
What the heck? All right,
Uh,
oh, you know what it is? So what is it? What's that?
Oh, that's doing it.
What?
What's 27
No,
divided by
that's
2?
not ours.
There you go.
Okay.
It's 15. It should be 15.
You got it.
Okay, thanks.
Now we're done. Okay,
Custodian is actually not in a bad place.
oh, yeah, that's why it's not in red. We're only looking at the ones in red
Okay,
here.
just the red guys. Okay,
Yeah,
equipment
yeah.
operator.
So 2269 is the average local. It's an 8% increase, costs us $3,800. Whoops,
Okay,
getting myself all over the place
and
here.
multiply by 2. But I
Mm.
think Steve might be there. I think we put in, it's the other guy. Dave, who's probably lower.
Yeah,
Librarian. What is the average? 2289. Librarian? is
69,
what-
oh, yeah, 2289, okay. Yeah, so 2289, $2,000 increase. It's not a huge increase
No,
compared to the others.
but it's huge in some conservative
Yes,
minds, yes.
we met with the library the other day. For their expenses, they're asking for level funding for this year from last year.
Wow.
And they still got a ton of questions.
Well, there
And,
was, she's asking for $900 more to cover her vacation, because Cynthia's hours weren't enough to cover her vacations.
right, right, good point, Becky. So it's a question for the personnel board. Are we willing to increase that line for that?
Mhm. Well,
Which
it's
is-
going along with our philosophy of what we're trying to do.
Well, actually, I think Cynthia's number of hours, maybe, is she on this chart? The assistant librarian? No.
But
Hmm.
oh yeah, there
See,
is.
she wasn't, what we had in the budget wasn't,
She is.
it
She's up-
wasn't her rate times the full amount of hours. She works 12 hours a week, and I think we had her in at 10 or 11 hours a week. So but the budget line wasn't being funded
So
properly.
it's a different issue here. So
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
there'll be an
we-
increase. Yeah,
So Becky, should we, as a committee, have, as a board, have a vote for the 2022 budget item for that line, saying adjusted for the proper number of hours, or can you just do that when you're building the budget?
We can just do that.
Okay.
But I
all right.
think you could take a vote making sure that people's job, the number of hours in their job description for non-benefited people need to be reflected in the budget.
yes. I'll move that.
Are we doing that now? We're doing that now. Okay.
George, you wanted it done now.
Well, no, I'm fine with getting things taken care of. Just tell me what to write in the minutes. So personnel board voted to, what are we voting to do again?
Voted to fund budget lines at the appropriate number of hours in non-benefited employees.
Number of hours, yep.
job description, number of hours times their hourly rate.
Here's the way I just worded it. So I wrote, personnel voted to fund in the FY '22 budget lines.
FY '23.
Oh, good point.
Mm,
And I
I'll-
wouldn't,
I-
I would drop lines because like, the position we're talking about is embedded in with the other library employees. So it's
Okay.
not a separate.
How about that wording?
Perfect. Just hours.
I
Perfect.
forgot you're watching what I'm doing. I gotta be
Yes,
careful.
we are.
Non-benefited,
good job.
non-benefited has a hyphen and then two T's and benefited, I think.
Yeah,
All
Perfect.
right. Two, no, don't you need two T's and benefited?
No, because the spell checker actually changed
Oh.
it.
Oh,
I trust the spell checker more than I trust
me.
most everybody. No, I trust you, Peg. Nothing personal.
That's interesting. Anyway, I mean, that just looks weird to me. It looks like
Well, look,
benefited.
so look what happens when I put the extra T in. It takes it. I don't get an error message. So you got
Oh.
it, Peg.
Okay,
Let me
Shall we
put in
vote on it?
brackets because Peg said.
yeah, put that down.
Okay,
Yes.
so I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Arvanitis, aye.
Ross, aye.
Stein, aye. All right.
And who gave the motion? Never mind. All right, so meanwhile, back at the spreadsheet.
yeah, I made the motion and I can't.
Yeah, I know. That's okay.
Okay.
We're all good.
We're,
I think, George, you repeated it
yeah,
with your fingers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Our intention is clear.
All right, so did we do the police chief?
No.
So we're done with equipment operators.
But the police chief is reflecting the average.
So the police chief,
Okay.
I think, has to wait until, or we have to make a decision.
I think it's good to have it done so we have a ballpark, so we're not like, oh, the sky's the limit, because it can't be.
Mm-mm.
So what is the police chief's rate on here? So I think it was 64,000 or something.
Well, this is the rate. Yeah, 63,654. It's right here, Becky,
Okay.
in the cell.
Ah, okay, great.
Assuming 40 hours.
Yep.
So it's 30/60. It looks like the average without the high and the low towns. And, and that's something we need to talk about too, but for now. So it's one of these two numbers. I put in the average.
Yep. I
But
think that's
if-
good.
Okay.
I know Dan said if he had stayed, he was going to ask for 72,000,
Oof.
but I don't think he would have gotten it.
I don't think you would have gotten it, but that.
We're getting there.
You're doing oh, thank you, George. It's looking good.
Okay, so town administrator and town clerk and treasurer we did. So treasurer we decided is 25, right?
Yeah,
And that's a done deal in our minds.
that's
Yeah.
right. Town clerk?
Yeah,
Are you going to
let's go
finish
to
the town
clerk.
administrator to see
Yeah.
how it matches up to what my contract says?
Does
When's the
it?
contract due?
I finally did get a contract signed at the end of the year in May, I think. That,
Effective July of 2021.
yes,
And is this the rate in that contract?
no. See, all these numbers are last year numbers.
Yes, yes.
So put in the 3363. I think that was part of the basis of it. And then there was some other,
Or is that what you're currently paid?
so what does that work out to?
It's shifting over 3 years.
Okay. So.
This position's this position and the police chief positions are a little different because they're contracted positions.
Yeah,
like
Right.
the highway chief,
it's
oh, the
also,
highway
good.
superintendent is here, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it would be helpful if you put, so that works out to 69,950 at the average.
I
which,
don't know what you're talking
April
about.
was, what?
What's 69,950?
So if you take that 3363 as the proposed, which is the average, it works out to us
Oh, got it.
$70,000 a year.
Okay, got it.
I had one select board member that did not want to do that in 1 year. So that was a 9%. They gave me 5% coming into this year, and my contract says another 4% going into next year to get
How
me to
long-
the figure. So I'm already approved to meet this schedule.
So then we shouldn't be, so this position, then we are not evaluating.
that's
You're
settled.
not evaluating, but it was supported by the select board and approved at town meeting
Yeah,
in a two-step process.
Right, but what I'm saying is it's done, so we don't need to review this one.
it's a done deal.
Right. It's just that it's good to know that it used the same I would leave it there because it did the same process and it was
Mhm.
approved.
Is that a 3-year contract, Becky?
Yes. And the third year, I get whatever everyone else gets.
All right, all right. I just want to make a note to that effect.
So this number, yeah, because I've already received 5% of the 9% increase.
Yeah, all right, but this is not being evaluated.
No, it's voted and done.
Yes. All right, good enough.
It's
Okay.
For FY '23. And if you want to take it out, you can take it out. I just let it's comforting for me to have it there
Yeah.
just because,
Well, this is, yeah, and this is just for our documents, so I mean, it doesn't, this isn't official anything.
yeah.
But it also reflects that this is not being done, this is being done thoughtfully. You know, there's a
Being done
context.
what?
It's being done thoughtfully, all of
Oh,
this.
yes,
It's a
Yeah.
And in a
context.
consistent manner.
Yes. Not random.
you got it. Okay. Okay, so town clerk,
2462. Wow. That's a
or we could do 2442, but I mean,
okay.
so that's what happens in each of these cases if we go with
Mhm.
the average. But is that what we want to do in each case?
Well, I
For some
think it's
reason,
good
these
for
numbers-
us to start, you know. Maybe part of what the proposal might be is that, and some of the ones that are at a larger percent is that it's a two-step. But we can't, actually, we can't do that we can't start writing fiscal year 24 yet.
Thanks for hanging in there.
But
Right.
this- Yeah,
I will.
So the effect of these, excuse me. So bear with me. The total effect of what's in this column,
yeah, what's the total there? Have we gone through everybody?
I need to take this one out because we're not proposing that,
It's a done deal, right?
but we're proposing these.
Yep,
It's $29,000 a year increase in our budget.
oh, piece of cake. What
Yeah, I mean,
percentage?
usually our percentage increase each year when we decide, the famous meeting that we do, that usually adds up to about 11,000. So multiply that times 3.
And mine will add about 2,800 more. So it'll be 33,000.
Reality is salaries in fiscal 23 are going up for everyone in the nation.
Yes.
Everyone. It's
about
what's
true.
happening across the country. There's a shortage. People are quitting.
Yep. People can't afford to work.
So another question is, if we look at what the COLA is going to be this year.
Yep.
Oh, Is that
This is
Melissa?
only the positions that we've got proposed changes in here.
Oh, Melissa, you don't have to come now. What a long day she's had.
Oh, is
I
Melissa? on?
thought I just let somebody in, but I don't see them. Oh, did anybody else see somebody waiting?
No. Oh, no.
Weird.
It's
Okay.
haunted. I hope it's not, we're not being crashed.
Well,
29, so say what percent? That,
Well, 2.5 is about $130,000. And that's gonna be 25% or 30%. It's like 30,000 of 130.
Hmm.
23% of what we have to spend.
Are there other things in the budget that might offset this somewhat in our, as we propose this?
the regional assessment.
Except the regional assessment could boomerang this year and go the other way.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle. I think we can hold the line at 65%. Well, whether we can go farther or not, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I think we have to compromise, but I'm not doing that anymore. But you know,
Lucky you.
I know we're one of 4 towns. We've made a lot of progress on that notion. over
I
the
think we have. And certainly
I
when you
think-
consider the resistance we had in the beginning.
Yes, so let it be for a bit. And wait
So
till
is
our,
Peg- Did Peg mute herself? Is this why we're able to digress so well?
There you go, I'm back.
Oh, good. Peg, you gotta keep us on track.
Oh, well, sorry. Well, yeah, all right.
Okay.
Get back to it, whatever you were off track of.
So the total damage, what we're gonna go to the finance committee with is basically this 29 plus, I mean, the other part that's gonna hit mine is gonna be like 3,000 or
But
28.
that's different. And that doesn't, the finance committee's already been involved in that negotiation and that's been signed off on. So that's not in play. What we're proposing is these new rates for these positions that are in red, and the
Yeah.
effect of increasing those is $29,000
Yep.
across
So
the, before benefits, there's payroll taxes and other payroll taxes will be in addition to that, but we don't have to address that. Nobody's going to ask. It's really
I mean, I think the
$29,000.
point that FinCom's gonna have to make to town meeting is if we don't do this now, we're gonna lose people and we will not be able to attract people. We've just got to bite the bullet and do it.
and that we have really good and competent employees.
Yes,
We've
and we
done
want to
good
keep
work.
them. We
Yes.
want to keep them.
Well, the conversation starts with, we evaluated the pays of all employees in town relative to Franklin County average, and we identified X number that we saw were low. So we're not proposing this for everybody. It's just the positions that we see are well below market, not just
Yes.
below market, but most of them are well below market.
Significantly.
Yes. And we need to position ourselves to be competitive with the other towns.
Right.
Yeah.
Those other points that you made, the market value to reflect their worth. And also make sure that if any of these positions is vacated, we have the proper
Oh,
pay
yes.
scale to attract new candidates.
Yes, right. I think that's what I was trying to say, but you
Yeah,
did it.
you
much
did
better.
say it. I just wanted to remind everybody, we're starting with, we evaluated everybody. and we
Yeah,
identified just these positions.
Yes.
and that's good because, you keep it unemotional, which is what you have to do.
Right.
It's all business. This is a
It's the
straight
numbers.
business analysis.
So what percent of our budget approximately is $29,000?
Yeah, of our total budget, 6.6 million, is that where we are, Becky? I don't even
Yeah.
know.
Why would that not give me?
Less than 0.5%.
Okay. And
And Becky's
these,
getting the real numbers, so we'll know in a second.
okay.
Okay, so our revised budget is, oh, this is not fair. I shouldn't be looking here. That's the 7.5 485 million.
Yeah, that's
That includes other.
not the operating budget.
Well, it's the bottom line on our expense report, George.
Wow.
All right, but our voted budget this year was 6.627 million.
635, got it right here. That number, Becky?
Yep,
Less
So
than half.
again, less than 0.5%.
So are the COLA raises going to be, that's going to be in addition to this?
well, yeah,
Well, it is, but these people will not be included in that COLA calculation.
right.
Typically, a COLA calculation is at what, 1% equals what, Becky, $11,000?
I think it was 9.
Okay, so it's 9, but we know that we have roughly 8 positions. I believe it's 8 positions that will not be in that calculation. So this year, 1% increase is going to be 4,500. Just to throw out, it's going to be half roughly. Maybe
why
not
are-
half,
Why are they not in those calculations?
because we won't apply the COLA to these positions because we're adjusting their rate.
Okay.
Right,
But
like in my contract, when they awarded me the 5% last year, COLA was 1.75. I got 5%. I got above the COLA.
Mhm.
So the COLA didn't
see.
matter. And like
I
next
see.
year, I'm
And
gonna
by
get
the way-
4%. And even if
Oh.
the increase is 6% for other employees, I won't get any of that because the contract says just 4. But I think
That's true for every-
all of these, George, if you go up all the percent increases here that we're gonna, except for Mary Ann's. I think so. I think if the COLA came in at 5%, you would want to make sure everybody here on the red list got at least 5%.
Right.
Don't you
This?
think?
On top of the proposed number?
No, so
With- In the,
See,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. You're saying this column here should be at least
Right.
5%. There's one that's not.
yeah, so I think we would have to boost that to 5% if that were to happen.
Right. Right. That wouldn't be fair. We're, yeah.
Right. It wouldn't
But
be
nobody-
fair for anybody to
So
get
give her
less.
that, bring her up to
Right.
that. Okay. So that would be our proposal for that position.
So when do we meet with the
But
FinCom?
only, it depends what the COLA is.
Oh, yeah, right,
So I would leave it what the formula. I
right,
think
but
the
we
formula
need
said.
to remember to look at that, okay.
Yeah.
Well, and let me point something out that I think we've all forgotten, and it just occurs to me now. Our target is a 2021 pay rate, is it not?
Right,
These guys are all going to, these are all gonna go
Oh,
up.
wow.
Now, we're using something that's higher than the high-low mean average. So we are using a slightly higher average, but these are a little stale in terms of their market value.
so if we
So-
stick in, so for this to be complete, like if we get the FY22 FERCog report next week,
Hmm.
would we update it to all those numbers in that category?
I think we
We
should.
update it.
Well, I'm trying to, would you like someone else to do it, George?
No, I think I could probably, I can't promise you, but I would try to update it if we had that. Do you
Peg
expect
and
that?
I'll do it.
Was that?
Peg will do it, no problem.
Yeah.
No,
right.
So
And
Becky,
then-
do you think that's coming?
Yeah, because they have requested the information and I got to check with Ryan because I found a couple of errors in what he did last time.
Yeah, I can certainly, if they get it out in the next week, I can have it done for our next meeting.
Okay. They
And
probably
if you
won't have
like-
it in the next week because of the holidays. They'll probably be in January.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, it's cutting close, but certainly
wow.
for
I
these,
think we can work with this.
Mhm.
Well, the other thing we can do is we can propose to take this plus whatever the COLA we come up with is for FY '23. So that these are corrected for that, are adjusted for inflation, which,
So-
which would raise this number, of course.
Right,
Ah,
because is high.
It is. I don't know how long it's going to last, but we know that wage inflation is definitely going to be high because
It's
employers
about
are
time,
doing whatever they can to get people in the seats
right? It's
or
it's
behind
time.
counters.
It's time for the trickle down didn't work.
Yeah, the tinkle down,
The Tinkle down, yes.
what it is.
so when FERCog comes out, how will, George, do you get it automatically? Or how would you know when it comes out?
it would be emailed to me and I'd have to share it.
Okay,
Yeah, the FERCog emails to me, and I'm not sure who else. I think the treasurer but anyway, whenever it comes, I usually send it to the personnel board every year when it comes in.
so,
I think what I would do, I want, if it doesn't come out in time, then probably our plan B would be, and remember, if it comes out, we have to do some evaluation for all positions, even the
Mhm.
ones that aren't red.
Right.
Just consider that. So it's a fair amount of work. The other thing though, for sure is plan B, if you will, is we take the proposed column and we say, we want to increase to these rates. We want to adjust these rates to be what we would pay them in FY '22, but increase them by our whatever you call it, our annual 2023 salary increase that we would apply to all employees. So whatever rate we come up with for '23, we would like to bump these up by that level
Mhm.
to make
So-
sure that we're competitive and have what's shown here.
so that would be Plan B. That's if FERCog doesn't come out
Yes,
in time for you to work with this.
right. Because
Okay.
you got to expect these numbers are going to rise.
Yeah,
Right,
But in absence of that, we'll just increase these by a year, which is probably still a year behind, but still, it's better
Yeah.
for the employees. It's much
Yeah.
more attractive for the employees, and I think, make them feel good about the work we've done.
Mhm. I hope they will.
okay. So we need to decide when we're meeting. Right?
Oh,
Next.
wait, I just spotted a position we didn't do, the town clerk.
No, we did do it,
No, look,
didn't we?
no.
I did it in my head.
Oh, we did.
Yes,
do
we
it.
did. It's we
Okay.
did. No, we did. It's
Oh,
20.
That's the rate.
We
Yeah, that's
brought it up.
Okay, I thought I saw 2090 in the proposed. I'm blind.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
That's a huge increase, though.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's also,
Maybe she'll be able to buy a car.
I know. I see her.
Oh my
what does
God.
she do? She rides her bicycle to work?
No, but she gets, anyway, her family, her sisters loan her their car. Her car is in the shop more than it's out of the shop.
Oh, bummer.
It's tied together with all kinds of duct tape.
Yeah. I remember living, yes.
Oh, I've been there. Oh, it was awful the early
Yeah.
years. Cars are expensive.
Yep.
They are. So
Okay. This is terrific.
I think it's great too. I think it's, that's a lot of work done tonight, actually.
Mhm.
I congratulate George and all of us.
Yes, I
Yeah,
think
no, nice
we're,
work. I appreciate your help. So in the minutes, I'm going to write that we evaluated 6 additional positions, came up, created proposed rates based on county average. Let me just write that down. And we'll await the latest county survey. Otherwise, we may adjust these for 1 year's salary increase,
yeah.
something like that. That's the way I'll do it. You'll
That
get a
sounds good.
chance, of course, to. Does that sound right, though?
Yeah,
That sounds good. All right. Bedtime.
I'm getting up early tomorrow too. Okay. Yeah, so let's look at the next meetings. We'll come on over here.
Because that's going to determine whether you use FERCog or not, or whatever. So Becky,
yeah.
when would you guess the FERCog info would be coming out? The first week of January, the second week of January?
I guess I'll guess the second week.
Okay, so that's the wrong year I'm looking at.
Me too.
22.
Okay, so if we meet the third week, does that, George, does that give you enough time to work?
Yes, 21st would be fine. I should be able to do that.
The 21st is a Friday. You mean the 20th?
Oh, 21st is a Friday? I got down as a Thursday on my calendar. Am I in the wrong year?
I can't hear you.
Hold on. Okay, all right, yep, 17th. No,
The 20th.
yes. Okay, sorry, I had the wrong year.
Okay, so can those folks that are all here meet on the 20th, which is the third
Yep,
Thursday in January?
at 6:30.
6:30, yeah. Becky, can we do that? Becky, can you post? Is it good? Since you know what's going on with the all the contacts and everything, Becky, if you can post
Okay,
6:30,
We
I
should
did-
remind her, though. We should try to remember to remind Becky.
Right.
I'll try and get the minutes out that Monday, so
Okay.
everybody can be reminded. So do we want
Okay,
to talk
that's
about
great.
future meetings beyond January?
what, George?
Do we want to talk beyond January?
Yeah,
Schedule beyond January?
it's, you should.
The
figure out
third
how-
is the third weekend, the third Thursday is the 17th.
Yeah. Shall we do that?
Go out to
Is that-
March?
Wait, is that February?
Yeah,
Yes,
What date is it?
17th.
does that work with the FinCom, with the
Well, I
FinCom?
think what we need to do is wrap up a proposal for the 20th, and then Melody and I guess, and Becky would present that to the finance committee and tell them what we've come up with. And that's what we'd like to see in the budget,
Okay, so
and
that
cross
works.
our fingers.
Okay,
Well, we sort of know, we can read the room.
Well,
Uh,
and
Is it the
possibly,
17th of March as well?
let's do the 17th of March as well, yes.
Okay,
Can
Okay.
those
yeah,
all-
if you look at my screen, I'm still sharing, right? This is what I'm showing.
Oh,
Okay.
I see it. Okay, yes, 6:36, yes, all right. That's good.
What do you think of that?
That's amazing.
All right, meeting adjourned at 7:53.
do it.
Yes, okay, all those in favor of what? Ending the meeting?
Yep. Arvanitis, aye.
Okay, Ross, aye.
Sinai.
Nice job, everyone.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Well,
This
thank
was
you.
really fun.
Oh, I
Have a
want
great
to
holiday.
do, I
Happy
just
New
gotta
Year.
give you, wait. Ryan is at home.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, good.
good. Okay,
He's at home.
He's
So,
young and
they-
healthy.
because of COVID, they try to throw him out as soon as possible.
Oh,
that makes sense. That makes sense.
That's wise. The numbers are climbing.
Yeah.
they sure are.
Drastically. So the next time we see you will be the 20th of January.
Right,
Yes.
and I actually may be out of town on the 17th of March. We'll see what happens.
Okay,
We can always adjust it at our February meeting.
yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
we can change it.
Yeah.
all right.
We'd hate for you to miss a meeting.
I know. Well, I'll zoom in from wherever I am.
Okay, that sounds good. It wouldn't be the same without you.
I know.
So let the record reflect, Melissa never did officially show, right? We didn't know.
Well,
we
you
don't
know,
who that
that's-
person was.
That is not like her.
I checked my text. There was somebody I let in that never showed up. So I don't know if I hadn't seen her and she gave up, but usually she would text me.
Yeah.
Are
she's-
you sure that, that happened, Becky, the same time where my computer ran out of power? And I had to go
Oh.
connect it. That was
Oh,
me.
so I let you back in and
Let
then
me
I,
back in. Yeah.
oh, that's what it, okay, so Melissa, it wasn't Melissa. That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, I'll let Melissa know we are adjourning now.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
she,
You missed the fun.
yes, but,
So, and we didn't make it on time. I got to change it to 4. Okay.
all right.
Okay.
Take
Have a great
care.
holiday.
Thank
Have
you
a good
guys.
holiday.
Bye.
Yes,
Same to
enjoy.
you. Good
Enjoy
night.
the snow.
Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Oh, and
Yep.